What's up, guys? Welcome into another MLB DFS DraftKings Picks video, this time for Wednesday, September 8th. I am your host, Ben Hostler. You can follow me on Twitter at Ben Hostler, and I'm here to talk about tonight's 9-game MLB slate. Sorry for the couple-day hiatus from these videos. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here. We are one sleep away from real NFL football being back on our screens. I've been pumping out some football stuff behind the scenes. Our first football video of the year, Cash Process, myself, and the CEO himself, AC, is up on this channel. You guys really showed out, pushing 1,000 views right now, over 150 likes. So thank you guys very much for that. Speaking of likes, be sure to give this video a like, a thumbs up on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It really helps out and allows us to keep churning out these free videos. I'm really excited for football, man. I can't wait. Football's kind of what we're known for around here. I'm really excited to get working for that. I'm going to be finishing my first article later today. I'm going to be recording 3-man NFL video with Bales and Sam later today. So I couldn't be more excited for football to be back. Hopefully you guys join us for that as well. Head to dfskarma.com. Check out all of our free content for baseball and football. Obviously, we'll have other sports, basketball, all that stuff as well when we get to that. But if you're interested in the core plays, you get access to my core plays, Bale's core plays, Sam, AC, other people as well. You can find that on the website, dfskarma.com/pricing. Would highly recommend picking that up. I'm going to be doing some showdown stuff as well. Last year, started doing showdown towards the end of the season, had a lot of success. So I can't wait to grind some showdowns, starting with tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. I will have core plays up for that slate on Thursday. But let's get into this baseball slate. 9 games, interesting pitching slate we have here. If you look at the highest priced guys, Freddie Peralta 10-2 on DraftKings, Shane McClanahan 97. Nathan Eovaldi 95, Yu Darvish 93, and Frankie Montas rounds us out at 9K. So of those guys, I actually think my favorite, how I'm breaking this up is there's some risky plays and then plays I'd be comfortable with in cash games. So the guys I'm comfortable with in cash games are actually Frankie Montas, Nathan Eovaldi, and Shane McClanahan. That's probably not the three that you guys were expecting me to say. Now, I will say that you could throw Yu Darvish in that tier as well, most definitely. It's a good matchup. He's only 9,300. He's probably going to project pretty well and be pretty high owned. So I'll say that's the 4 guys that I think you can use in cash games and tournaments, all formats. Eovaldi, if you look at the last month, has actually been the best pitcher on this slate. Highest strikeout rate at 32%, sub-3 Sierra. Really tough matchup against the Tampa Bay Rays, but I've said a couple times this season I don't weigh matchup as heavily when we're talking about really good pitchers, and he's been a really good pitcher over the last 30 days. So I think, even though I don't think he'll be high owned because of that matchup, I think he's a really strong play, especially in tournaments. Montes has been someone I've played a lot, really the last, I don't know, I want to say for the majority of the season, but since he started upping that splitter usage, it's been a good month that we've been playing him a lot. Tough matchup also with the White Sox, but he's the cheapest at 9K, and I do think he is a strong play in all formats. Darvish, I think, is going to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate at that price. So I guess you could say for cash, you probably want to play him just because of that ownership. So I would be pairing him with Montes or Eovaldi. McClanahan doesn't have the same leash as some of these guys, but he's just really good, and he has that strikeout upside. Tough matchup with Boston, but that's kind of the common theme of the slate, right? We have good pitchers that are all in tough matchups, so it's not as big of a deal as it normally would be. Peralta, I just can't play. Personally, we haven't seen the pitch count from him since he was dealing with the injury, and last start 2 innings, it's just tough to trust that at 10,200 in cash. If you want to play him in tournaments, sure, I don't mind it, but it's a definite risk when we don't know how long he's going to throw. So I would rather play someone like Eovaldi in tournaments than Peralta today. Outside of those guys, I don't really like any of these cheaper guys. We have a lot of bad pitchers on this slate. You can take a shot on someone like, uh, you know, Tuki Toussaint, Alek Manoah, definitely. Tough matchup with the Yankees, but they strike out. He has good strikeout stuff to righties. Tukey just hasn't been good over the last couple weeks, but he has a good matchup against Washington. They have a sub-4 implied team total. So Manoah and Tukey are probably the two guys that you could really look at as darts in tournaments. But other than that, I'm just going to be spending up for the pitchers on this slate. Not a lot going on here at this position. As far as stacks go, I really like the A's stack tonight. I think that's my favorite overall. Dallas Keuchel over last month, 5.85 Sierra. Higher walk rate than strikeout rate, 11% walks to 8% strikeouts. Just has not been good. So I really like the A's stack in tournaments tonight. We have the Kansas City Royals against Matt Harvey. Will be no secret there. And then I think the Blue Jays and the Braves are probably my next two favorites. Nolan is kind of a neutral pitcher, but the Braves have a really high team total. They're just a good offense. Toronto, Luis Gil has not been good over the last couple weeks as well. Obviously, we know what Toronto can do. That's probably the main four for me, but I really like Oakland personally in tournaments. And then I'll run through, this is going to be a quicker video because I'm A, on here talking to myself, and B, I have a football article to write, and I have to do a football video. So I just wanted to get on here, highlight my favorite plays. I will go position by position. Starting at catcher, Salvador Perez is up to 6K. It's really tough to argue with what he's been doing recently. Ton of home runs for a catcher. If you can afford him, I do think he is the top spend up. There's some other good spend ups as well, but I think if you're picking one, it's probably Perez if you can afford him. Outside of him, I like Pedro Severino. I do like the Baltimore side of that game as well against Mike Minor. Against lefties for the season, solid 25% line drive rate for Severino. He's really cheap at 3,300 on DraftKings. He's probably my favorite cheap play. First base, if you're spending up, it's Vlad Jr. I think definitely for just overall spend ups. You have some good cheaper plays. Carlos Santana sticks out, hitting from the left side against Harvey. But I like the Baltimore guys. Again, just talked about them at catcher, but both Ryan Mountcastle and Trey Mancini have really good power against left-handed pitching. 236 ISO for Mountcastle, 257 for Mancini. I think both those guys are playable in all formats if you can afford them. Kind of talk myself into a Baltimore stack maybe in tournaments as well, so we can add them to the stack list. I know Wilax and Discord, if you're watching this video, you will appreciate my Baltimore Orioles love for tonight. Second base, Ozzie Albies sticks out to me definitely. He's up there in price at 5,100, but this guy has been unbelievable against left-handed pitching this season. 405, 408 WOBA, 295 ISO. Really, really good numbers. Some of the best numbers in baseball against left-handed pitching. Nolan gives up a 390 WOBA to right-handed batters. I think it's a really good spot for him, obviously, and his teammates. You can use any of those other guys as well. Whit Merrifield, Marcus Semien. Those guys are fine. I like Josh Harrison in the mid tier with my Oakland A's love, and then Colton Wong I think sticks out at 3,800 against Kyle Gibson for the top cheap play. Third base, there's a lot going on at third base. You can use any of these spend ups. You can use guys like Manny Machado, Austin Riley. Obviously, Patrick Wisdom's been on fire. You can use him. A lot going on there. My favorite play is Matt Chapman. He's 5,100. He's been up and down for the season. 222 average for the season. Not someone that really we've been playing a lot, but he does have power. Always had power against lefties, but this season specifically, it's still there. 268 number for the season, but over the last 14 days, 64% fly ball rate and 43% hard hit rate. He's been locked in at the plate, starting to turn that corner. He's up against a regressing pitcher in Dallas Keuchel. Matt Chapman, my favorite third baseman. Rougned Odor, probably top cheap guy if you need some savings, or you can use Dahlbeck. Even though I like McClanahan, you can use Bobby Dahlbeck against a lefty anytime. Shortstop, I think the top play is probably Wander Franco, even though I like Evaldi. He's just been so good, someone that I've played even before he started turning the corner. But I think he's the top overall play. But he's expensive, right? Adalberto Mondesi, 4,400, a little bit cheaper. Good matchup against Harvey. I'm assuming he'll be pretty popular. Josh Harrison, who I mentioned at second, you can use at shortstop as well. So that's probably my favorite guys. If you need a cheap guy, Jorge Mateo, if he's in the lineup for the Orioles, 2,200, gives you some savings, fits with the Orioles stack. You can use him as a one-off as well at that price. And then I'll finish up here at outfield. If you're spending up, I think my two favorite spend ups over 5K, Fernando Tatis Jr. at 6,200, Juan Soto at 5,700. Soto, I think, is my top overall play, slightly over Tatis Jr. against Tuki Toussaint. So that's my favorite over 5K. There's some really, really strong cheap plays today, starting with Soler. Jorge Soler has been absolute money against left-handed pitching since he's moved over to Atlanta. The batted ball data was always there for him. Even when he was in KC, he was just getting a little bit unlucky. Things have turned around for him after the trade. He's pretty much a lock for me at his price. Andrew Benintendi is a lock for me as well. 3,500, get a bat from the left side against Matt Harvey. Tough to overlook those two guys. Another guy with power for Baltimore, Austin Hayes, 3,100. Tough to overlook him. So there's a lot of really good cheap plays at outfield. You could throw in guys like Rafael Ortega as well, 3,800. Really good batted ball profile over the last 14 days. He homered again yesterday. So I'll probably be looking to save at outfield, and hopefully I can spend up for some of those guys like Albies and Chapman at the positional plays. I want to thank you guys very much for watching this short little breakdown. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you know when we post a video. We'll be pumping out a ton of football content in the coming weeks. Obviously, we'll still have baseball videos, and we'll be doing daily, night before, early morning NBA videos as well when we get to NBA season. But I just am so excited that football's back. You guys can probably tell. Go watch the cash process, watch the video we're posting later, get in the Discord, and good luck on tonight's baseball slate. Good luck in week 1 for NFL. I will give away my home run call before I forget to do so. You guys probably know who it is. It's Matt Chapman. Really encouraged by that batted ball profile over the last 2 weeks. I really think he's turned the corner. So my home run call, Matt Chapman for tonight. Lock him in to your lineups on all sites. And I'll see you guys later for the football video. Good luck tonight.